Connecting to different subnets requires a default gateway, which is the first hop of every network. But in simple networks, default gateway IP can only be configured on one device. Good thing there are first hop redundancy protocols which enables automatic failover of default gateway IP address to another device. And in this video, we will discuss Cisco's version, which is Hot Standby Routing Protocol, also known as HSRP. By the end of this video, you will be able to understand what is HSRP, HSRP election process, HSRP states, and HSRP versions. But that's not all. I'll also discuss how HSRP should be set up with Spanning Tree Protocol, so stay tuned till the end of this video. What is HSRP? HSRP is a Cisco proprietary first hop redundancy protocol that presents a single virtual gateway IP to hosts. It eliminates single point of failure in the default gateway. How does it work? Participating routers in the topology talk to each other and agree on the active router with the virtual IP address which end host will use as a default gateway. In order to participate, routers need to be in the same HSRP group. Then they will elect an active router, which forwards traffic for the virtual IP. The other router will be a standby router, which serves as the backup. They will have a virtual IP, which is the gateway IP configured on hosts. This IP automatically transfers from the active router to the standby router during failure. Virtual MAC address attached to HSRP has this preset value, where XX is the HSRP group number. So for example, if the routers have an HSRP group number of 1, the virtual MAC address would be 0000.0C07.AC01. HSRP uses multicast address 224.0.0.2 with UDP port 1985 to send hello messages between active and standby routers. All HSRP routers in the group should be layer 2 adjacent. How does HSRP identify the active and standby router? Routers in the group undergo a process of election based on the following parameters. First, they check the priority value. The router with highest priority value wins the active role. It has a default value of 100 upon configuration, but it can range from 1 to 255. In case there's a tie, the router with highest physical interface IP address will be used as the active role. Here's a sample configuration. Take note that in HSRP, when an active router fails and the standby router takes over, the previous standby router stays active even when the active router comes back in the topology. This is because preemption is disabled by default. So you need to configure preemption so that the original active router can reclaim active status when it is restored after a failure. Upon configuration, routers undergo different HSRP states before it identifies their roles, starting with initial state. This is when an interface comes up. It indicates HSRP is not yet running. After that, it goes to learn. The router is waiting for hellos to learn virtual IP. Then it listens. The router knows the virtual IP but not yet elected as active or standby router. Then it speaks to the other router. This is when the router sends hellos to participate in active standby election. After that, it identifies itself as standby or active. HSRP has a default hello timer of 3 seconds and hold timer of 10 seconds. HSRP has two versions. Version 1 with group number range of 0 to 255. It uses multicast address 224.0.0.2 and it supports IPv4 only. It has this virtual MAC address format. Version 2 is the enhanced version. With group number range of 0 to 4095, it uses multicast address 224.0.0.102 and it supports IPv4 and IPv6 with improved timers in milliseconds. It has this virtual MAC address format for IPv4 and this one for IPv6. SDP and HSRP interact when you are using multi-layer switches as your gateway. Take note that in an STP topology, some links are blocked and STP is not aware of HSRP configuration. Since there is no direct relationship between STP root bridge election and HSRP active router election. Therefore, to avoid suboptimal path, you need to ensure that the STP root bridge should also be the HSRP active router. That's it for HSRP. Like and subscribe for more networking videos. See you next time.